Earlier this year, the Department of Social Development spent 3 million rand of taxpayers' money on a trip to New York for 7 officials. Now, the department has told Parliament that this price tag was actually modest. I'm Rebecca Davis, senior journalist for Daily Maverick. In August, the Sunday Times exposed how 7 social development officials, including Minister Sisisi Tolashe, spent over 3 million rand on travel and accommodation on a trip to New York to attend the Commission on the Status of Women in March 2025. After an outcry, the department was summoned to Parliament to explain. Director General Peter Netshipale took MPs through a presentation which was littered with typos and which tried to make the argument that the expenditure was both necessary and reasonable. The presentation stated, while 3 million rand appears significant domestically, in US dollar terms, it is over $150,000. It continued, compared with the scale and reach of the platform, this expenditure is actually modest. One of the arguments made for why the trip amounted to value for money was that countries from all over the world attend the conference, so it was cheaper for South African officials to go there than to visit countries individually. The department's sole concessions to public outrage on this matter were to pledge to endeavour to use indirect flights to save costs as they are usually cheaper, and to endeavour where feasible to minimise the size of our delegation. Here's just one of the problems. The Parliamentary Committee was not given any precise breakdowns on where all this money got spent. But the minister's spokesperson confirmed to the Sunday Times in August that the delegation stayed at the St. Regis Hotel in Manhattan, a 5-star hotel popular with celebrities where all the rooms come standard with 24-hour butler service. Rooms there can go up to over 100,000 rand a night, comfort paid for by the South African public. That wasn't the only questionable thing Parliament's Social Development Committee heard at this meeting. Minister Sisisi Tolashe was summoned to appear to explain some of the dodgy hiring and firing practices within her department we recently exposed at Daily Maverick. Why, for instance, the department's Director General, Peter Netshipale, was only approved by Cabinet for a 1-year contract, yet was given a 5-year contract by the department. The minister's explanation: it was a clerical error, not an intentional act, and they've now fixed it. Now, as in after Daily Maverick's report on it. Minister Tolashe said, quote, "I did not subvert Cabinet's decision, contrary to mischievous and misleading media reports." But here's what she didn't explain. DA MP Alexandra Abrahams, who had been tipped off about this, asked Parliament in April what the duration of Netshipale's contract was. In the minister's official response to Parliament, she stated that the contract was for 5 years. Why wasn't the error discovered at that point? That was a strange answer from the minister, but her next one was even more bizarre. We previously reported that an unqualified 22-year-old, Lesedi Mabelecha, had been appointed as the minister's chief of staff. Minister Tolashe now told Parliament that this was all the fault of her previous chief of staff, Zanele Simmons, who she claimed had essentially smuggled Mabelecha into her position by falsifying her CV. What could Simmons' possible motivation have been for doing this? The minister did not explain. Neither did she mention the fact that, as exposed by Daily Maverick, Mabelecha is the niece of her favoured special advisor, Ngwako Khatla. Tolashe also did not explain why the unqualified 22-year-old had since been placed on precautionary suspension with full pay, while Simmons was summarily dismissed. Simmons has indicated that she will be taking legal action. There is one potential silver lining here, though, which is that Tolashe said that the Public Service Commission, an independent body, will be investigating this issue. Turning to the issue of her special advisor, Tolashe addressed the allegations that she is protecting Khatla from disciplinary proceedings over allegations that he accepted 2 government salaries at once. Tolashe said the department sought legal advice on this matter, which informed her that the DSD did not have authority to institute disciplinary proceedings against Khatla because, as a special advisor to the minister, he was not technically a DSD employee. Tolashe said as a result, she had referred the matter back to Khatla's previous employer, the Department of Women, Youth and People with Disabilities, where she was the minister at the time when Khatla was allegedly accepting 2 salaries. She did not explain what authority Khatla's previous department would have to discipline an employee who no longer worked there. Daily Maverick has also seen the legal opinion in question, which metadata reveals was drawn up on 29 September. Tolashe did not explain why it took until September 2025 and media reports to look into the issue of Kotze's allegations, when, according to an email chain seen by Daily Maverick, the DSD's top officials were made aware of the matter as early as November 2024. Kotze was conveniently not present at the committee meeting, which opposition MPs described as strange given his status as the minister's special advisor. MPs from the DA, the EFF and MK were united in saying that the answers given by the department were simply not good enough. But if the minister was outright lying to Parliament, that is something others have lost their jobs for and even faced potential criminal charges over.